All right, welcome everyone. This is Scattercast episode 16. How's everyone doing today?
Awesome possum.
All
Okay.
right, we got Theodious and Poot Nannies with me tonight, and I'm Dirt
Hooty
McGirt.
hoo.
It's Brain Studios, and that's our Scatterbrain Scattercast, where we talk about video games, geek culture, technology, just whatever comes to our mind. We're scatterbrained. That's why it's the Scattercast.
I'm feeling today.
Yeah. So, how does everybody have a good week?
Nah, not too bad, not too shabby. Played some games,
Yeah. So yeah,
watched
let's.
some shows.
Anybody watch anything or play anything interesting this last week?
Played a little bit of more. What's the game with the game and the thing and
The
the thing?
Valheim.
Valheim. There you go. See, you know what I'm talking about when I
Of
just
course,
say that.
still playing a lot of
Played some
Valheim.
of that, some fun, and played a little bit of Outriders demo.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We did play some of that. I played with you. What do you think?
Yeah.
So I've never really played cover shooter games before, so I don't know how it compares to other cover shooters.
Oh, that's what kind of game it is.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
third
is.
person.
Like a Vanquish style?
More Gears.
Oh, Gears. Okay,
Yeah.
Gears is ripping off Vanquish anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Vanquish,
yeah.
if you guys don't play that, that's awesome.
Is
I love
it?
that game.
Okay.
So this one is you have abilities. So I have I'm using the flame. what
Yeah,
is
it's
it called? The
class based.
Flamemancer?
Pyromancer.
The Pyromancer, and so he can shoot a column of flames forward in like a not a pillar but like a wave, and it goes out and burns people in front of him. Some people it kills instantly. Some people they just sort of stuns them and they take fire damage. So and then I have a new one where I shoot like a beam. It looks like a beam of fire at a person, and it can hit them behind cover. So I got a second ability there. So it's more in the line of playing Diablo third person shooter than playing a Destiny.
Yeah, it's a loot. It's a loot. It's kind of like Destiny, right? The system's Anthem, Destiny. It's that.
No, it's a different system. I was watching the comparison to the systems, and they're saying, yeah, no, the systems feel more Diablo 3 like,
Really? Okay.
and that's what they wanted. They wanted to go for the ARPG style gameplay instead of the looter shooter style gameplay.
Yeah.
So
It was good. Everything looked interesting enough. It was not generic, but just not. The art direction to me, it was okay. I think nothing really stood out about it though to make it look like, oh man, that looks like Outriders. If you see something, it's kind of like a mismatch of a lot of other kind of games. The graphics,
It's-
like Mass Effect, and
yeah, and while we're on this, speaking of other games like that, it sort of goes into this could be it has a possibility of being not Destiny, but Anthem all over again, because it's I don't know if I don't think they said they wanted to make this a games as a service, but it could go in that direction just like Anthem. And if you don't have an interesting loop, like John Paul was saying about Valheim, the loop, if you don't have that interesting loop, and the loop is too short, it gets overly repetitive,
So
and
what-
then it gets tedious.
talk to me about it because I've heard of that term and I understand it a little bit. But games as a service, like, what exactly does that entail? It's the content is always changing and like on rotation, and you're always doing new things to
Service
get.
is more battle pass. You subscribe to the game, and we give you rewards in game for subscribing to our game. So battle passes are a thing they use in games as a service. Loot boxes are something they use. Not necessarily loot boxes make you a game as a service, but it's the one thing they use in games.
So
as a
do you
service.
just kind of keep doing different things just to keep updating your
Yeah.
loot, upgrading your
Yeah,
loot?
upgrading
your gear.
You have a store. It's in the store is your major income. Do you want to buy more gear? Do you want to buy this for the store? Do you want to buy that? And all the game is basically to drive the store.
Okay.
And the store doesn't drive the game. The game drives the store. It's like the store is the major thing, and you play the game to
But
to
it's
reap
gear,
what's in
right?
the
Because you're trying to
store.
get better gear, a little bit better, a little
Better,
different
yeah,
things
better
that
gear.
play with each other, right? Different
And
kind of
nowadays
builds.
it's all cosmetic because of the big outrage and
Well, I know.
outcry with
if it's
NBA,
if it's
and FIFA and all
competitive,
them.
if it's competitive, then definitely. But if you're playing P versus E,
Yeah, P versus E is different. I think with P versus E, and you have a shop and you're selling a different gun that is more powerful and can shoot through 30 guys with one
But
blink. Yeah, go
but
for it.
these games are going to be. Are they going to have microtransactions to get better gear, or it's all through in game?
I don't know. I'm thinking possibly there's going to be
Like you
some
have to
sort
fight
of
harder worlds, go
online
in harder
exchange.
worlds, harder bosses to get better gear, right?
Well, Tier World, they do that in Genshin Impact, and that's still a games as a service. It's still what they call, what is it? Gotcha system.
Yeah.
That's their thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that because it's digital. That there's no now you don't own anything, so
Yeah.
you're just paid, and then they don't have to deliver. They can just put a unfinished
Yeah.
game out. You paid for it.
I was obsessed with the Star Wars Topps card collecting app on my phone. Like you used to get a couple packs, but then you start like there's these nice cards and you really want them. You want to make sets because you get bonus cards. And I was getting obsessed. Then so I was like signing up for all these like free trials to get extra coins. Then I'd start paying like just 99 cents a week to get a couple extra packs, and that would be like $5, every other week on a special
It's like
thing.
gambling.
Yeah, and I'm paying all this money just to get like JPEGs on my phone that I don't even own. It's like, why am I paying all this to see
But it's
JPEGs
fun
on my phone?
In the time, it's fun because I was playing with a friend. And we were playing one of those where you build the base and you have to defend it, and then you go on raids and stuff like that. We were playing that, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll buy a little bit of extra goo and a little bit of extra this, and so I can build my base up to catch up with the other guys. And we're having fun. This huge community going on raids together, and then when it's just got to the end game where it's like, okay, now you have to wait 23 hours for your goo to be made so you can make this thing. No, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. But you can pay to speed it up
for $2.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh no, thank you. So I just, it just once you start seeing the errors of your ways,
I don't even play mobile games anymore because I just can't get into that. I don't play any mobile games.
I don't try to subscribe to too many games as a service. I kind of like complete games and exploring the complete game and not saying, oh, you want to continue, then get the pass so you can get the weapon that can help you get further past. No, I just want to play the game and explore what you
because I'll pay up front, but they get more money long term.
Yeah, like the Star Wars game that came out. I like that. I would have hated for them to say, "Oh, go online, buy new lightsabers, buy a new cowl, buy do this." It would have really killed that game. But it's a complete game in and of itself, and that's all you need. If you want to put that in the game, let people put it in the game. Let people pay $70 for it.
Here's a fun question. So, what mobile game do you think you've spent the most money on? I have a confession. I used to play Disney's Magic Kingdom or something. I thought it was called, and I spent probably $100 in that game over 6 months, 10 months, a year, something around there. Probably less than a year, but I probably spent. Because it's like every little time they had a special, I was like, $6 for this little pack. And then you do that every month, and then there's little other things in between. They pay $2 here, $2 there. So I probably spent the most on that game.
Yeah. Mine was the game I was talking about. What was it? Where you're building the soldiers, you're building a little town.
There's so many of those. Clash of Clans?
Yeah, there you go.
Clash of Clans. Yeah, that's a popular one.
Yeah, that was the one I spent I would say $10 a month on that for about 6 months straight.
Yeah, so probably 50.
So
like a AAA game you probably spent.
I like the way Nintendo does theirs. They were doing theirs where once you spent so much, you technically bought the game. And so if it was like Mario, they would give you so much of the stuff you were buying daily now. You just automatically got it daily, and you bought the game. You don't have to make any more purchases once you spend $35 in in-game purchases. People should do that more often instead of letting people spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and these kids are getting a hold of these phones, and their parents are like, it's not my fault. Yes, it is your fault. You haven't taught your kids responsibility about getting into stuff that isn't theirs and they have no business doing, and you let them. You basically
what is the law on that? Do they give them the money back to the parents? Do they say the kids aren't responsible or the parents aren't?
Recent stuff.
They pay?
Parents pay. Parents don't get money back.
Yeah, because I mean,
so it
Because they make sure the parents are not signing a contract like the companies are. They're making sure they can get away with it.
because all of that's in the end user license agreements and stuff, right?
well, stuff like Apple, especially when you go through AT&T, when you're buying that stuff, it's going to charge it to your phone. So you're not paying for it like out of your credit. Sometimes you won't pay for it out of your credit card. Sometimes you can attach it to your phone credit. So whatever you pay for your phone bill is going to be attached to that.
And I think in Google Play there's an option where you always put a little password in to make a purchase. So some people I think are not doing that because they want to make it faster and easier.
Yeah, or some kids, Mom, what's your password? It's so and so, so and so, and the kids know the password. What's the point of a password? You got the fingerprint thing, and I think that's brilliant. But you got kids who sneak up to their parents when they're asleep and do the fingerprint and run away like, I got it. I know me and my brother would have thought about doing something like that.
There's some spy comedy, I forgot what it was called. I think it was Spy or the Spy Who Dumped Me. That was the one, The Spy Who Dumped Me. Where this girl, she cut off this guy's finger and put it in her lipstick container, and she was using that to activate, things that needed his thumbprint. Yeah, how about if someone's sleeping? Can he just shine the phone on their face for the face recognition? Do their eyes have to be open?
I hate the face recognition.
I know. It doesn't work with black people. Sorry. I'm serious. I've never gotten a phone to recognize my face, ever. I don't know if it's because I'm wearing glasses, but never I have a phone. Every time I'm looking at the phone, it goes right to sleep. And it doesn't recognize me and stay awake.
It doesn't recognize on a lot of people. Like me in the morning, it doesn't recognize me in the morning.
In the morning?
Who are you?
Do you have squinty eyes maybe? Maybe it needs to see viruses.
Like puffy eyes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't know who I am. And it's I have to put the stupid password. Or I'm wearing my mask. I'm doing something like that. It's really annoying.
Okay, when you say you have puffy eyes, it's like you have eyes that look like Sean Combs.
Well, in the morning.
They look like buttholes.
It's
wow, that's some weird looking eyes. You got that? You need to get to the doctor right quick. And I'm not saying an optometrist. You probably need to go to a colonoscopy.
You ever watch the Rick and Morty episode with the holes? The whole cereal. What was that cereal that the guy eats?
Cornhole. Not cornholes.
Something holes. I hate that commercial. I hate that skit on Rick and Morty.
What was the guy who always says he always says something you don't know if it's a curse word or if it's not, and the wife said it and he said, "Whoa, don't ever say that again. Don't say it like that. What is your problem?"
It's on the intergalactic table.
I can't think of it.
I miss Rick and Morty, man. It seems like it's been forever.
I haven't watched the latest season.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
No, I haven't. I have to catch it.
Get caught up.
But what we were talking about, we just scattered.
That's
let's
the
bring
point.
it back to we were talking about
video games. We were talking about Outriders.
Okay, so yeah, we got off on the tangent of prepaid and stuff. But Outlanders is a cool game. I hope they keep it.
Outriders, right?
Outriders, yeah. Sorry, I said Outlanders. Outlanders is a wholly different toy to life game. But hope they keep it more in line. Not too much of a looter shooter. Not too much of a Destiny, but make it its own thing. Make it you do something radical.
Yeah.
Don't. Honestly, I wanted to try with you guys. I wanted to try Anthem, but they're not going to do Anthem next. They shut it down, and I was sad because I was like, maybe because I love the idea of flying those mechs like Iron Man. The first time they got actually mech flying done right. It looked beautiful. I was watching some Let's Plays. I was like, that looks awesome. If they could just get the rest down. The mech flying was perfect. And shooting and flying and dodging, it was awesome. But they just wanted to move if you're going to move those people to existing projects to better those projects, go for it. You made a product.
They're not just not supporting it. They're shutting the servers down, right?
Yeah, they're shutting servers down, and the team has been separated to other teams to do other projects.
So whoever has that just won't be able to play.
Well, that kind of ties in what we were talking about, the games as a service thing, because that's what that was, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just didn't. They're trying to squeeze so much into their business calendar for the year that they don't give enough time to cook for a game.
Yeah.
So somebody's project's gonna die because they're working on 2 or 3 projects for EA or whoever. This one is EA in this case.
Yeah.
And customers, I think, could finally make it. I mean, this has been going on for years, but you notice that things kind of like have eased up a bit. We don't see so many games like this now in an unfinished state.
There's only
Well, you do see, like, you have your.
It still happens, not as bad as it was like 3 years ago. I
mean, they'll put it on Steam and call it the open beta, and that's better. Call your game. Don't put it out like Cyberpunk 2020 should have had an open beta. I think if they said the open beta is out, you can purchase the open beta if you want to.
Like,
it's going to be broken, but we're working on fixing it.
If it goes to retail, like if there's a retail copy, you can't call it like a beta, right, or early access. If there's a retail copy,
and I totally forgot about that game,
Cyberpunk.
You can put
but
it
you saw
in
how
stores.
the whiplash, the backlash, what they did, and that was really quick and fast.
Yeah, but but the thing that it's better to actually, it's what did they say? It's better to ask for forgiveness and ask for permission. So they would, instead of saying, "Hey, can we switch around? We're not going to come out with the open date. We're sorry." But what we're going to do is come out with a beta that you can purchase digitally on all your consoles, and we're going to be working on it through you with the beta to make this the best game possible. Yeah. They didn't want to ask that permission. They would have got shut down. So let's just put it out and ask for forgiveness.
But it's a big company that is publishing it, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's like they know that loses hype whenever it goes on to indie games. It works because they're nothing really on the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for a big game with a big budget and a lot of time and hundreds of millions of dollars, they're like, we can't lose that hype. We need this hype train going so that you sell on the first weekend like an insane amount, and you immediately fund your next project from that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they didn't do it. But I agree, they should, like, hey, it's not looking good. We're not going to be ready in a year. Like whenever the release date was planned.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for a beta, so that people get some hands-on time with it, but they know it's not finished, so they're more forgiving.
What it was, they were little big, eyes were bigger than their guts. They wanted both markets of the 5 and the 4, the X and the S, and it's like, okay, don't be that greedy. You should have just dropped those markets and went for either PS4 Pro and up, or just new gen. And everything else should have been digital on PC. But they were hungry. They
and wait.
Yeah, they wanted that money from the other markets, and that's what broke their back. And they should have just went with what they were hungry. They were too hungry. They were too hungry. They had a good meal, and they were like stuffing people's faces with artificial pudding.
Bravely Default came out this week. I know Gainer got that. He's been playing it all weekend. Unfortunately, he's not here to talk about it, but he's really liking it so far.
Yeah, we'll have to catch his next time. Get his impressions, because I've been wondering about that. I mean, how different is it from the other? Is it
very old school JRPG, and that's how he likes it.
Yeah, because that's what I'm. From what I understand, there's really no changes from the first one. It's the same game, just different, better graphics. They didn't really do any inspirational game changes to it. It's Bravely Default.
There's also watched the latest WandaVision. Did you catch it, Teddy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. I did.
So we don't have Gainer today to talk, but we can still discuss theories.
Yeah, we could tell John Paul and get his outside.
We'll explain to you what happened in WandaVision. So spoilers again for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. So this entirely focused on Agatha, really. So I'm not getting a bad person vibe from her. I still think she's kind of a mentor, because she didn't create the hex. We found out Wanda did it, and then she just kind of like, whoa, what the heck is this? And she kind of infiltrated it to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
so basically she's a witch, and she wants more power, and she wanted to show her how she did that, because she wants that. Do
you get that vibe? Do you think she wants Wanda's witch power? Do you think she was just curious to Wanda is?
She said, Wanda, you do this, I can do this. And she was showing how to do it. She was saying the words, and boom, she changed the scarab into a bird. Wanda, you're doing that, but on a tremendous scale and not even controlling it.
Yeah.
You can puppeteer people on the other side of town. I can't do that.
Yeah. I don't
How do you
know
that?
if she wants it.
What is your secret?
Because even at the beginning, you remember when her family and Coven tried to kill her? She said, I can be good. I can be good. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she's seeking power. I think because after she finds out that Wanda's a Scarlet Witch, she has to take her out. It's like, no, you're too strong. You're a chaos magic user,
Okay, this is my theory. This is introducing the new villain. This is introducing the villain that Marvel Comics has already had for some time that people wouldn't accept in Hollywood, but I think they're ready to. The villain that's, I'm not bad because I want to watch the world burn. I'm bad because I'm mad at other people for doing crappy things to me, and my life is bad, and I'm going to do what I want, and if you try to stop me and get in my way, good or bad, I'm going to take you down. That's the bad that Wanda is becoming. I want my world. I want my kids. I want my husband. You get in my way, I'm not evil, but I will kick your ass. So that's the bad guy she is. She wants the world, and she'll do anything to have her. Like what's the guy that snapped her?
Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos. It wasn't that he was, I just want to watch the world burn. He had a legitimate reason for doing what he wanted to do. It was just crazy to do it that way.
I've always had a problem with Thanos, though. If he was really worried about too many people getting hungry and starving, when you had all the power of the Infinity Stones, do you think you could have came up with a more thoughtful solution? Maybe invent a bean or a wheat that can feed everybody.
But you got to think, if you're living in the slums and you're living in a low life, and all you see is death and mayhem, and you know that if all these people weren't here, that's you raised to think all these people weren't here, all this wouldn't happen. We're all here. This is happening because. Okay, what if all these people weren't here? What if half?
How about if Thanos thought outside the box and was like, "Hey, maybe let me create a duplicate of this planet over on this side of the galaxy and move half the people over there, so we'll share the resources." He could have thought of something a little better than just let's kill half of everyone. I didn't buy that. I thought it was. I always think that's a dumb.
I bought it. I think his situation, his life, just like Wanda right now, they're showing her because of her situation. Her brother died. Her home was destroyed. She was stuck for 2 days with a bomb, threat of a bomb going off.
So it's pretty interesting. So
now that we know that she's not a mutate.
She's always a latent witch. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's a witch, but she's a mutant, not a mutate. Mm-hmm. Mutate is someone who's created. We thought she was a mutate. But now that she was born with the abilities, that's a mutant.
Yeah.
So the Fantastic Fours were mutates.
Yeah, because they were born
their
normal.
Powers were bestowed upon them.
Yeah.
What's his name? It's not a mutate. He is something else. Doctor Strange. He gets his powers from something else, which makes him a witch or a sorceress.
Yeah,
he learned. Wanda's probably
practice.
drawn her power from the multiverse. That's why she's able to do that. Doctor Strange draws his powers from another universe, from the not the negative verse.
That's where his predecessor did.
His power still is drawn from other dimensions. That's how he draws his power.
The dark dimension or something. The
dark dimension, yeah. She did hers for that reason, but he still draws his power from all these. That's why he has to keep those realities in check, because if he doesn't, there's actually at one point where he did lose half of his power because. He wasn't Sorcerer Supreme anymore. He lost like 90% of his power, and then he finally was able to get some of it back.
I'm 90% sure he's going to come in the end of the next episode. Benedict Cumberbatch is just going to pop up.
Yeah, I'm hoping it pops up. But yeah, it's. I think they're showing the new mutants, the new villains. How these villains are not just want to watch the world burn, but they have a deep emotional and pasts that. Spark these
Elizabeth Olsen's acting. Her acting's been really good. I like her as Wanda. Yeah, especially this last episode was really really cinematic. Like it felt the budget must have been really high. It felt like right out of a movie.
Oh no, the budget's always high on these. Disney Plus budgets are movie like for each episode.
I did think it was super interesting how she didn't end up stealing Vision like they originally said. She left Vision there and she created her own. So is that the things that she's creating spontaneously, Are they real? Is that real Vision? Can he exist?
They're real within her world. That's her universe.
So-
She created, rewrote that world part to create her universe.
So her kids, that Vision, if the hex collapses, they're all gonna be gone.
We know Vision, yeah, if it collapses, he's gone. What I'm thinking is maybe, okay, you know, with his wife and Vision, when I saw him, I had a flashback of being at the arcade and playing X-Men arcade, and remember the Vision that was in that? He was all white.
There actually is a white Vision in the comics.
And that's what he was just
the West Coast Avengers.
He didn't have the mind of Captain Marvel, no, Mr. Marvel, because that's where he gets
Mr. Marvel.
Mind
So
in the
comics it's from Mr. Marvel, or is it Dr. Marvel, Mr. Marvel?
Mr. Marvel, I think it is. Or Mr.
Wonder.
Mr.
Wonder, not Mr. Marvel.
Yeah, Mr. Wonder.
Mr. Wonder.
Mr. Wonder. So this is the white, which is cool. I was like, holy crap, they did the white Vision. I thought that was super cool.
So can she create Infinity Stones? Like, does she create a straight up Mind Stone in there?
You talking about that? No, that was her being exposed to the Mind Stone for the first time.
But can she create her own?
Remember, everybody said when they got hit with the Mind Stone, what did you see? What did you remember when Hawkeye got it and they asked him, what did you see? Everybody saw something different when the Mind Stone interacts with them. She saw which I think was her future self. She saw
a Sokovian fortune teller.
Not a Sokovia, the Scarlet Witch.
Well,
when she said, you're Scarlet Witch, I was like, yes.
When she dressed up as a Scarlet Witch's old costume, she said she dressed as a Sokovian fortune teller.
Fortune teller, yeah.
So maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's her mom. Maybe her mom was a Sokovian fortune teller, a Scarlet Witch.
But and then we know that what's her name is, she's a witch that stole other people's life force, not intentionally, but then I think she did her mom intentionally at the end.
Yeah, well, maybe. I think maybe it was defensive, right? It wasn't like she didn't want
because she said it. She said, "I don't control the power. It bends to my will."
Yeah,
which is sort of a different type of magic, and it's not chaos magic, but it's similar. Similar.
So I wonder. I still don't think. I don't think she's trying to use it for bad. I don't think she wants it for herself. I think she sees her as a threat. Maybe she wants to get rid of her. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. The last episode should be good. It's better be long because there's a lot of stuff.
I'm hoping an hour and a half because this one was a little bit longer. 10 minutes longer than the previous episodes. So yeah, we got to get her true explanation. We still got to get who she's really working. I don't think she's acting alone. People still see she's acting alone. She already told us she's a great deceiver. We already saw in the car. I knew she was faking in the car. I told my girl, I was like, she's faking.
She is faking.
And she just drove off. She's not supposed to just drive off.
Because everybody else, right? Nobody else had like any juice at the end of town, but she did.
Yeah, because everybody went back to she just went back. Oh, okay. No, I knew she was faking in the car. I still think she's hiding secrets. She's not telling everything.
Yeah, we didn't see Petro and we didn't see Monica in this last episode either.
Yeah, I'm thinking Petro is. She just said it. She conjured him up and was puppeting him. He was just his eyes and ears. So it's just a construct, and she was using him to talk through him. That was her words going through his mouth.
So do you think
I kind of understood that?
Do you see a Wanda? I mean, do you see a? So I'm guessing we're going to see a Monica Pietro fight, and then we're going to see a Vision fight, and we're going to see a Wanda versus Agatha fight. Is that where it seems like it's going?
I don't know if Petro's going to fight because I think he's just a physical like
but
construct.
She created him. I'm guessing he's still kind of moving.
I guess she could trade him to fight.
Well, then what do you think, Monica? Do you think Monica's going to play a big part? Do you think she's going to fight Agatha herself?
Well, yeah, because Agatha and Monica haven't had their confrontation yet, and we know that Monica can adjust her powers to block out and to neutralize any other powers. So she has yet to deal with Agatha's powers.
So she could absorb and send it back out, right? Energies.
So she absorbs and sort of adapts herself to that energy, so it doesn't bother her as much. At first, like remember when Wanda had her up, and then she absorbed and then changed, and she was able to not be as affected by that energy. Kind of like what what's his name does. What my guy from First Class. not evolution. What's it?
Darwin.
How like he'll do and he won't stop him. It doesn't stop stuff from hitting him, but his body reacts and does something to counter what's going on. Like there was an episode, a comic where he jumped on the Hulk's back, and he was trying to start absorbing the radiation off of the Hulk to get him back to Bruce Banner. And so his body just naturally started absorbing the radiation. But so Bruce got, Hulk got pissed and started making more radiation, growing bigger and bigger and getting more stronger and more bigger. And so he couldn't take it. His body couldn't take it. So his body reacted differently and teleported himself on the other side of the world. Just Darwin just said whoop and teleported. He's like, what?
I remember how mad you were that they did Darwin dirty in First Class.
Yes, they did him so. I mean, at least teleport him on the other side of the world. That would have made sense. He doesn't die. He multiplies. He's Bebe's kids.
All right. So should we move on to State of Play?
State of Play.
Sony had their State of Play day or two ago, right? A couple days this week, and
about Thursday.
Revealed some trailers. I was want to show a couple trailers and kind of talk. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the ones I probably think you would be interested in is a returner, Crash, because Crash is a phenomenon that's been around since birth of PlayStation.
Yeah.
So. And I took that quote. That quote came from Poot. So.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even play Crash other than at the store.
Well, I mean, I think 90% of people first play Crash at the store.
Well, because that's what they had. They had Toshinden and they had.
Toshinden, yeah, Battle Arena.
And with Crash, I forget what the series is online that talks about it, but Crash is really interesting because they were limited by the CD-ROM, so they had to use the system's RAM to load chunks of game data at the time. Now everyone does that.
Yeah.
But at the time that had not been invented yet, that technique.
I'll have a confession to make. I've never played a single Crash Bandicoot game.
You're not really missing. I mean, it's to me when I look at the difference.
I've watched it.
Crash,
it looked interesting-ish, but it took me a long time to get into 3D platformers.
For me, it was I had a choice, and I went with Nintendo's version.
Mario 64.
Donkey Kong. I compare this to Donkey Kong, and the different games of that. It was more adventure, hitting blocks and finding little secrets along the way, and trying to get into collectibles along the way and stuff like that to the end. This had more of a competition versus the DK series, and so.
Yeah, the game was something that I didn't appreciate until way after it was the release, like PlayStation 4 era, where I was like, I'm surprised that they got away with that kind of animation for PlayStation 1. Like when I started to notice its animation, I was like, it's actually pretty good for a PlayStation 1 game. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And the way they got away with it, they just took off textures, like for most things. They just used the materials colors.
Yeah, I just saw part 1 recently. I was watching somebody play it, and it was pretty impressive. I'm like, I just wasn't interested. Him as a character wasn't that interesting.
Didn't it look like a little too simple?
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't.
Yeah, it was really simple. To me, it moved. He moved weird. It's Mario and Donkey Kong. I was a Nintendo fan, so I always shunned Sonics and the Crashes and the other competition. So yeah, that was we're young.
That competition makes Mario better.
Do you guys want to see the trailer then?
Yeah.
All right, let's watch it. I don't watch the whole thing. We'll watch it.
Unexpected developments in your future. Shocking events that will change the course of your life.
That last part might have been a hair dramatic, but there's lots of awesome updates and additions.
Are these characters, have they been around?
Bandicoot 4, it's about time experience on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with any of the characters.
Producer at Toys for Bob.
I just know there's a mask that follows them around, makes them invincible, I guess.
That includes 4K at 60 frames per second, adaptive triggers.
Hey, this looks a lot like.
Let's make this fun.
This looks like Donkey Kong. Now that you said that.
Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, we find the evil masterminds Neocortex and Dr. Entropy escaping a once-thought inescapable interdimensional prison, leaving giant holes in the universe. What follows is a mind-bending adventure for Crash and his marsupial pals.
Some people like this.
We designed Crash
I
Bandicoot 4
gotta be
to leap
honest, I
off
don't
your
like
screen,
Crash Bandicoot.
brimming
No, I don't like how
Yeah,
he looks like.
vibrant environments and characters.
But I
Crash
appreciate that
Bandicoot
it's
has
so
always looked
different.
pretty
Like, there's
suave.
so much different stuff.
Yeah.
Until you see him spinning heads.
And you know,
maybe
I
4K at
recognize
60
it as
frames per
being a
second.
good, a decent looking game,
Weight of
and the
universe on your
content looks
shoulders.
pretty cool.
Probably some errands to run. There's little
But
time to
I-
wait on
Well, I
I
have played
bet-
it later.
Yeah.
and
Dual
it's
sense
actually not bad
wireless
at all.
controllers
It's
bring
not bad at
adaptive
all.
triggers to your fingertips, so you can feel the
It's
blast
like-
of
it's
Neocortex's
similar to-
DNA
it's
changing
basically-
ray gun.
Yeah, like this.
Or feel the
but in
grip
3D.
when you
It's
grapple a
2D
ton of
platformer
friction.
that's in 3D.
Hold on tight when you
Yeah.
feel
That's
the
all I
boost
really
of
can
Crash's
say about
jetboard, and really feel the suck when you vacuum his dingo dial.
I feel the suck.
Looking to get fully immersed in the Crash Bandicoot universe? Crank it up to
That
11,
that
and
PS5
take your
controller, I
audio
know you guys
to
haven't
all
tried it
new
yet, but
dimensions
it's
with
pretty
enhanced
cool.
3D audio.
Yeah. Do you see they got the back button for it now?
Achieving the infamous 106% completion is the sign of a true Bandicoot master. But should our genetically mutated marsupial lose his way? Leverage
analog
PlayStation
going
5 activity cards to track your
Oh,
progress.
man.
Ooh, activity
It's like
cards.
For things like
the
time
Switch, and now
trials,
it's with the PS5.
flashback levels,
Keeping
and
it
boss
on.
fights.
Well, they took them apart and they
Entropy
said that
versus
Nintendo Switch and PlayStation
Even bring your
basically use the
incomplete
same
save over from the PlayStation
supplier.
4
supplier.
and use the
Yeah,
activity
they use the
cards
same.
to get to 106%.
Yeah, I think that's
And one more
and
thing.
it would be a
If you
little
own
bit
the
more
PS4
for the
version of
controllers,
game,
maybe
an
$100
upgrade
for a
option
controller,
is
but
available. Check out the PlayStation blog.
I'd
for
rather
details.
have something that's going to
Whether
last
it's your
me
first playthrough or your
a
100th,
long
there's
while
no
with my
better
heavy
time to
big
experience
hand.
Crash Bandicoot
It's
4,
something
It's
that's gonna-
About Time.
Because
on
I got the
PlayStation
drip. I had to
5.
change in my controllers. Now my fan's making crazy noises. Like I take that in. My Switch.
So it's already out for the 4 and it's coming out for 5 in next month.
Oh, so I have to say, it doesn't look like you had to wait for PS5 to play that.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the facial animations are like maybe a little better than PlayStation 3, but you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, not that big of a deal.
Yeah, so it's whatever. I think
Really,
I think
that
younger
art
audiences
style-
would like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
That art style,
there
make it look smooth, make it look
Yeah.
good, but they didn't really.
are a lot of PlayStation fans out there, PlayStation fanboys, just people who just love platformers in general
See,
that
it's weird, like
love this game and will
kids-
love this game.
Kids who played Mario, they grew up, and
Yeah.
then as adults, they still like Mario and Mario games. Kids who like Crash, do they grow up, and are they still like Crash Spyro fans?
There's not a lot of Crash games though.
Yeah.
It's the genre of platforming, and I think nowadays there's not too many like platforms. Platforms aren't the new genre
Yeah,
to
but
come out.
I could
Like,
still
they're not
see
saying
young
we're coming out with a
people.
brand new IP that's a platformer.
Okay, let's
It's
check out
very rare.
Sifu.
Sifu? You know what
Okay.
Sifu means?
It's master, right?
Yeah, in Chinese.
Yeah.
So Joseph was in Kempo. He didn't have a sensei.
Instead
he
of
had
sensei, yeah, it's Sifu.
Yeah.
All right, check it out. I haven't heard anything about this. Sifu.
Excuse me.
Oh, you see that gameplay's on PS5, cinematics on PC.
Well, it says PS4 and PS5.
My,
Yeah, I don't like to see that because I want to see
sorry.
real PS5 games. You know what I'm saying? Like that can only run
Yeah.
something more powerful.
Nothing feels next gen quite yet because it's all like made for both.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
this?
and
It's a,
you
it's a beat 'em
kill
up?
yourself if you drop that market too quick.
Oh, cool.
what is this? A cinematic beat 'em
Style.
up? Like,
Yeah, sort of
It's like a tune shading sort of.
old boy.
Oh, old boy, that was an awesome movie.
it made me think of Old Boy
Yeah.
because it seemed like the single camera shot.
Did you guys watch
Yeah.
that when I was there at the theater?
I watched the Korean one.
Yeah, that's all we showed at the
Yeah.
theater.
Oh, okay. Oh, the original. Yeah. I watched it
Yeah.
in video though. I didn't watch
Alright.
it in New York.
So look, what did he get wiser?
Yeah. Why is he getting older?
Yeah.
Like
I-
Old Boy. Not totally. Like if Old Boy took place in
I don't know why,
China.
but this end shot. Watch this one right here. Him right there.
they're actually
It reminded me of Tom York dancing.
You can't even dance. That's what,
Not,
that guy at least can do some moves.
yeah, but you've seen Tom York dancing like on his Lotus Flower.
On stage too.
Yeah, but that, for some reason, watching that
When
guy
you're
made me
famous,
think of
you
Tom
can be as
York.
dumb as you want. No one will tell you.
Yeah. That I don't know why that made me think of him. Yeah, it looks fine. Seafood.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool. I kind of like.
Yeah, a little hallway fighting, kind of like what they did in what is that movie? Inception. Where they're in the hallway and they're fighting.
Yeah,
I like.
It also made me think of Daredevil. Remember, there's a couple of those single take fight scenes where he's in hallways and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they're kind of like. They actually have another game out called Fighting in Close Spaces. I haven't checked it out.
But I wonder what's the aging thing about. Every time he dies, he ages.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
That's a good question. Well, that actually looks interesting to me.
Yeah.
Right, and so it looks like it's going to be a roguelike. Then.
So here's Solar Ash. Let's see what this thing is.
Looks like the people from
Annapurna is the company. Oh, Hyperlight Drifter. I think they make that.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's just right there. It looks like Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Preston, creative director of Heart Machine. You might know us as the team behind Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah, Hyperlight Drifter.
Today, I'm here to show you the first peek at gameplay for our new title,
so much better.
Solar Ash.
Because it was so pixelated.
Solar Ash is a huge, stylish 3D platformer focused on speed, movement, and fluidity.
It's hard to make it work.
The game is set inside a giant black hole known as the Ultra Void, which has been consuming everything in its path.
You know what I'm saying?
You play as Ray, a daring void
your volume's a little down, Poot. I don't know if...
I had to put it down because it kept capturing every little breath.
Oh, okay.
It would turn green on my...
Ray is extremely agile, able to speed across the world with abilities akin to skating. On the ashen clouds, she can quickly cover great distances in our huge world.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
At its
core,
Solar Ash is all about movement.
I mean, I was expecting more.
Yeah, I don't play these kind of games, but
it's like this is like Jet Set meets Sonic.
Yeah. Speaking of Jet Set, that one I forgot the name of that game.
That's what I was gonna say. Jet Set, yeah.
What's that new spiritual sequel from Jet Set? The Cyberpunk.
Our combat system is simple, fast, and fluid. Built to empower players and encourage
kind of good, like good camera and stuff follows.
As you explore the Ultra Void, enemy encounters will scale greater and greater sizes.
Stepping or running.
Some of these creatures require speed and precise timing to defeat.
I feel like I wouldn't know where to go in this game.
Ray will eventually need to face the massive sentinels of this void. Wretched, starved beasts that hold the key to her quest.
I mean, I'm guessing it's not a full-priced game, right? I'm guessing... I don't know.
It look like they're doing... What's that game where you get on the giant and you have to climb up it?
Strider.
Colossus.
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Solar Ash is Heart Machine's vision.
Did you ever play the remake?
The giant spaces, field of movement, flow of combat, and high-stakes battles atop enormous beasts.
The remake is gorgeous.
Something we think
but on PlayStation 2 was like how
more importantly, fun.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
This game is a labor of love for everyone on the Heart Machine team. We're excited to bring Solar Ash to PS5 and PS4 later this year.
I mean, I like the art style.
Yeah,
but
it's not my type of game.
I like the colors, not the art.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Just I guess the color, because I guess art direction has a lot of components. Yeah. I like the color.
The lighting is not.
Yeah. There's a new Oddworld, Soulstone.
Yeah, I've never Oddworld person. I've never played any other Oddworld game.
Anybody want to check what this says? I guess we can check it out.
Yeah, go for it.
It has interesting gameplay mechanics.
People really love Oddworld, but I just never.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
I was a
Blackthorn
to the Oddworld.
Oddworld Inhabitants.
Similar style.
Today I'm going to take you on a brief tour of our newest game, Oddworld Soulstorm.
They've always known you would come.
They're side scroll puzzlers, right?
You reprise the role of Abe, accidental hero turned unlikely leader of an emerging revolution. As you do battle through weird and wonderful environments in an effort to escape the all-powerful and eternally greedy gluttons.
Kind of like Lemmings, where you have to get everybody to the end.
Yeah. 2.9
it has an interesting gameplay
adds much more depth and immersion for the player. This sense of connection is also reinforced through the use of the DualSense's haptic feedback, as you'll now be able to feel Abe's heartbeat in high alert and suspenseful situations. There are well over 1,000 fellow Mudokons that you must try to save along the way.
Oh my gosh.
But they are far more than helpless workers looking to be saved. When used effectively, you'll be able to solve puzzles, harness their combined energy, and be given the tools they need to fight alongside you. And there will be times when the extra hands will be needed as you face off against an array of heavily armed enemies that will stop at nothing to find and end Abe once and
these background stuff look super complex. I mean,
in order to stand a chance against this much larger threat, we gave Abe the ability to scavenge, loot, and pickpocket items from his surroundings and use them to craft an impressive arsenal of his own that he can share with others. You can also play as a non-lethal pacifist or an agent of chaos. We wanted you to have.
Yeah.
But there is one iconic ability for our shamanic protagonist, possession. This mystical power allows you to take control of your foes and use their strengths and weapons against them, or use them to
You
gain
played Inside
access
in
to
Limbo,
paths
right, Jump
still
Ball?
ahead.
Yeah, I love those games.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think of Inside. Remember, there's that one part where you have to take control.
There are some environments and situations that require a little more thought, patience,
instead of all
you'll find dark and dangerous caves, heavily guarded industrial sites,
yeah,
forgotten
that
land.
was crazy.
Here we've built lots of opportunities for you to test your skills and find different ways to handle.
Are they sneaking? Is that their sneak enemies?
Yeah.
If being hunted by an army backed by a shady and wealthy organization isn't bad enough, there are also more dangers.
Those things look like the little alien things from
traps, trials against swarming dark creatures,
Galaxy,
and industrial hazards that must be dodged, crossed, and avoided. Ultimately, Abe's journey is one of hope,
Guide to the
freedom,
Galaxy.
and truth. There's a rich and engaging narrative to discover in a world full of lies.
Don't do that.
And we've been able to bring our characters to life like never before. In true Oddworld fashion, your actions in-game decide the fate of Abe and all those you manage to liberate along the way. And we can't wait to see what you will do.
Well, look at them biceps. He got little abs. Abe's been working out.
So here's Returnal.
Oh yeah, I'm looking this. It looks.
This is like something they're really pushing, right? Who's making Returnal? It's one of Sony's own studios, right?
I'm not.
Hey everyone, we at Housemark are excited
to
sneak peek at Returnal. In Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra scout who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow.
White
Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable dark planet and search for answers and unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play.
Ooh, aliens.
Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around enemies.
Kind of looks like Control.
How was that game?
Good. I want to play more. It's gonna be. I think it's on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. I got so many other things I need to play.
I know.
I just got Naruto Ninja Storm Ultimate Ninja Storm Collection.
Did you?
Yeah. No matter what the circumstances are. Death is only the beginning.
I gotta cut into that.
So when she dies, she returns. Is that why she's a Returnal? It's a roguelike?
Yeah, it's roguelike.
Every time you die and restart, the world will change. The map will be different. Enemies will appear in new locations and in differing numbers. So you have to think fast and adapt. Here you can see the use of the lightning alt-fire, which is great for crowd control. This is one of many alt-fires that you can
You see the bullet, sort of the bullet health style they got going there.
That makes me think of Nier.
Yeah, Nier has that same style. I gotta play that. I gotta get that so I can play for PS4.
I did. I got it, but I haven't played it yet.
Devices that can grant rewards
Did you digital or physical?
Digital.
Weapons,
on PC.
And they can completely change your play style.
I'm gonna get a physical on PlayStation.
Feel unique.
Don't they have an Ultimate Edition?
There's a year Game of the Year version, but there's a remake coming soon, even though the game's only like a year or two old.
Allow players to piece together the puzzle.
Well, no, Nier. That's a new one. Nier.
Replicant something.
Nier, the new Nier.
Sorry, I'm just watching that bouncing thing on her butt going up and down.
I think I am reliving my memories.
Nier Replicant.
Yeah.
Not fully. They're corroded. Some parts
the booty's corroded.
manufactured.
You guys remember Moded?
But I can
Yeah, ooh, you got moded.
What did that even mean?
Actually, it was demoted at first.
What did moded even mean? That was huge.
It's demoted. It's like you just got
Is it short for demoted?
Yeah, demoted. Yeah,
that's what moded came from.
Yeah, it's from demoted.
Ooh, it's phasmophobia.
Exactly.
Phasmophobia. Yeah.
So something to do with our house and
looks. I mean, the gameplay looks fine, but I don't know about the roguelike.
I kind of like weird, sort of things change and why they're changing mysteries in my games. I like my sci-fi weird.
Yeah, same. Oh my god, there's 2 Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade trailers. Are they the same? I mean, what's the difference? What's Intergrade?
No,
I think that's the
announcements then features. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a DLC for Final Fantasy
VII?
Yes,
the DLC for Final Fantasy VII. Yeah.
Does any of you guys play Final Fantasy? Do you want to watch it?
No.
I played a little bit of Final Fantasy VII. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you're into that, but if you haven't played the game, then it doesn't mean too much to you.
Here's official gameplay trailer 3 for Deathloop. Have you guys seen Deathloop?
If you've seen the first trailer, you've seen the rest of it.
I want to see this one here. Kenna.
Yeah. Kenna.
I want to watch this.
That's actually a really good commercial. Beautiful.
Oh. Yeah, that's cute. She kind of looks like Yuffie.
Hi.
Ember Lab.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does.
The rats seem quite fond of him. They're usually
like Elebit? Not Elebit.
Oh, maybe. Or what's the Nintendo version of Elebits? With the
looking for forest creatures.
Those little Pikmins.
Pikmin, yeah.
Hello, spirit.
We don't know. Elebits and the Pikmin. With this Xbox came up with their version called Overload.
I think we've seen this before.
But that power.
Have you seen this before?
Maybe this is longer.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer.
Oh, I've never seen it before. So it's already had a trailer out.
Some gameplay. They're going to show some gameplay, I think. That was nice.
Trapped spirits linger here, tangled in the tragedies of our past. You must help these spirits if you wish to reach the mountain shrine.
It's okay. You have to go now.
Kind of time slowdown thing going on there.
Uses a staff as a bow and a staff.
And a spear, kind of.
Magic can cure all. Probably uses the backstrap too.
You must move on.
Cool.
Ooh, get a mask.
Is it winking?
Uh-oh.
That's creepy. That looks cool.
See, that's more of my style. I'd play that.
That'd be something I have to watch one of you two play.
That looks cool. Even though it still looked kind of... I don't know. It looked good. I'd play it. It has a
I can see that
Zelda
that being one of
Darkstalkers vibe.
I can see that being one of the... People say this is next gen. Wow. Okay, I see next gen here now, finally.
I mean,
the PS4 and 5.
Yeah. I think the footage was probably 5.
Yeah.
Knockout City is dodgeball game? Okay, I do want to see dodgeball game.
Yeah, it's Free-to-play dodgeball game.
Free-to-play?
Nintendo and PlayStation.
It's gonna be like Ninjala.
But this one's yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like real dodgeball, like in a
we're an indie developer based in upstate New York, and we recently announced
an arena or
City,
something.
A team-based multiplayer action game for PS4 where rival crews settle their scores with epic dodgeball battles. Knockout City is easy to pick up and play, but there's a lot of depth here for those who've got the skills. In our 1v1 face-off mode, you'll go head-to-head in a constantly shrinking battleground, relying on your reflexes and abilities to knock out an opponent. A well-timed catch powers up the ball, making it easier to land a hit.
So you can actually
use
catch
trick
the ball
shots to lob a ball over a ledge or hook it around a corner. Fake a throw to mess up your opponent's timing and knock them out before they can recover. When you're in a tough spot with a ball flying your way, a last-second dodge is the difference between getting knocked out and staying in the fight.
So where does the ball go?
Keep your wits about you and outplay your opponent to bring home a win.
Well, there's several balls on the stage.
Oh, there is.
But watch this next thing.
Let's jump into Team KO, our 3v3 mode. Teamwork makes the dream work in Knockout City.
Dude, he just
if your
did.
crew is outmatched, a well-coordinated team can still dominate. We're playing a back alley brawl.
He
a
picked
new
up
map
his
that you'll find in our
guy
upcoming crossplay
and threw
beta.
him.
The special ball for this match is the sniper ball, which
Oh,
locks
there's
onto
your looter.
targets
There's your
across
the wing.
Wham! You can take them out before they have a chance to react. Beyond special balls, each map features a unique mechanic. In back alley brawl, you can hop into a tube and make a quick getaway, or use them to sneak up on your opponents. Caught empty-handed? You can literally become the ball, a new weapon for your teammates. Or risk it all. Charge up a teammate, launch them high into the air with an ultimate throw, and they'll land in a huge instant KO explosion. The team here at Valorant has been obsessed with building this world over the last 4 years. Knockout City
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be all about
we'd love your
collecting,
help in our final stretch of development.
cosmetic.
But it's not free to play though. It's not free to play.
At knockoutcity.com to play early on PlayStation.
Did he?
See you soon, brawlers.
Okay.
I'd rather play Splatoon 3.
I guess crossplay. I don't know what though.
Crossplay.
It's coming on Switch also.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
All right. I do like the Five Nights at Freddy's series, so.
Yeah, that's a very, very niche genre, and I don't appreciate the games, but I know a lot of people who do.
I followed him from the beginning, so I am interested in seeing them. And there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of people really, really into it.
At your house, I think we played it, right?
Yeah.
Did we? Oh, did we?
You're small, pathetic, but now you are more.
They're making a movie. Nicolas Cage did like a spin-off, like a rip-off movie. Oh, this is a big difference. It's like a whole mall.
Yeah, it looks like a whole, like something they took out of like a theme park, like Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay. Well, it's usually at like a Chuck E. Cheese. This is a very.
That's what this reminds me of. That's why I don't like Chuck E. Cheese. I was when it was Showbiz Pizza, I was scared of that bear. Hated it. That's
Gregory,
what that bear reminds me
we
of.
can get you out of here. You and me together.
Oh, so this is like a Alien Resurrection type of.
It looks very different.
They won't stop hunting you. None of them.
Yeah.
It's like a first-person version of it.
Yeah.
You actually get to move around.
Yeah, they're switching to more like a.
This is way different than the
Alien
usual.
Resurrection.
We have to get you out by morning.
This is a very different formula.
You will do as I say. You will bring me what I want. And if you fail me, then you will.
It's Pizza Planet.
Of you burn!
Several of them look like.
Yeah, it's not my style, but
there is more going on here than you realize.
What is the lore behind?
There's a lot of lore because it goes back and forth in time. Man, I could get into it, but there's so many. It's one of those games where like the theorists really get into it, really tear apart all the different characters and who's who. There's William Afton, and I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. But his soul is basically in a robot that kills kids. Then their souls get trapped into other robots, and it's
an actual story to it.
Yeah, there's a huge story. It goes back and forth. There's like the bite of '87, and something happened in 1987 was the original first victim, and it goes back and forth with different locations and different characters, and like there's a whole lot of theory channels that all deal with just FNAF theories. And it's huge too. Like there's a lot of like game theorist sites where that's the biggest like videos are FNAF ones. People love that stuff. I just know because
I have to go on a YouTube rabbit hole about that stuff.
No, you'll get stuck as it goes, and there's a lot of stuff. I just know because Nessa used to be obsessed with it. She used to watch all those videos, so I've seen all those videos. It's pretty interesting, but the game for me is not for me. Usually you're just like in one building and you have to like control the cameras and the doors and stuff. This one looks like you actually get to venture out.
But you can see at one point he did lift up a watch and you see the different cameras he had in different areas.
Yeah. Well,
I am still. You know what? I think it was called Gun Valkyrie.
Why does that sound familiar?
I think it was a game. No, it was a original Xbox game.
Oh, original Xbox.
Yeah, and I think this is the game. I was telling you about that third-person shooter where you're fighting bugs and you're in like a little mech. And
Gun Valkyrie.
This was it. This was a cool game. They need to remake this.
Alrighty, guys. Ooh,
it only got a 73.
Metacritic?
Yeah. So, was there anything else that you guys wanted to see on that?
Unless you guys want to see the Final Fantasy ones.
Them, right?
Yeah. And Deathloop.
Deathloop, Kenna.
Is Deathloop the one where I thought it was more cartoony, where they
it is kind of
he keeps coming back.
Yeah, and he has to try to figure out like why. Yeah, I mean, not my type of game, but if you want to check out the trailer, it's
yeah, I guess
extended.
We can.
It's the same one we've already seen.
Let's see. I've never seen anything for it.
What?
You'll never ever break this loop.
There's no never here. Just you, me, and the rest of these maniacs.
Bring it, baby.
Yeah.
What is the concept about?
People are living in loops purposefully.
This little ditty goes out to the handsome asshole trying to break our loop. Cold. The visionaries are ready to dance.
So what they did, they live like the same day over and over again kind of thing?
I think so.
Like Groundhog Day?
Yeah, I think we saw this like a long time ago.
Yeah, they've been playing the same similar.
Yeah, because it's been ready for
Is this any new footage or pretty much the same stuff you've always seen? Invisible?
A little bit, yeah. That invisible thing is new to me.
So you die.
What it is, it's basically that girl is kind of like Agent Smith. She can be anyone at any time.
Oh.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but you have to die a bunch of times to figure out every little way.
Yeah, so you have to figure out like where she's gonna be at that particular time, and she could be anywhere. But once you figure it out, then you kind of know, and then you can get further.
Because you'll know what happened. It's like you're living a loop too?
Yeah, and I think that's how you stop the loop.
She's
back in time, die and go back.
They're kind of going to show you right here. They're trying to do a James Bond theme.
Yeah.
Right here, see? She kills him.
Ouch. What's that thing on his left wrist? What does that do?
See? Now you see her? He just... Yeah. No, he just found a better way to get to where he needed. He knew those two guys. He didn't have to kill them.
Yeah. What's that thing on his left wrist? Does that fast forward him through? Like...
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Where you been hiding?
I like the song.
Boy, do I got a bone to pick with you.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, very, very
It's like Assassin's Creed
minimal.
or Tenchu, where you've got to figure out how to beat the level without being detected at all. And you'll just die and get detected over and over until you finally
Song's over,
paths.
people.
Yeah.
Although this is way more different.
The rest of you motherfuckers are next.
What's Bethesda?
Arcane Leon, so it's like some French company.
Interesting. And it's a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, with the loading, I think what it has to do with that game is it's going to be a lot of loading to get you right back up from death really quick, and it's going to rewind, and you're back. So that's going to the rewind is going to be the loading of the level, so you can get right back into it.
But he was also like going through windows into whole other areas.
Yeah.
So it has to load it quickly.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, remember with the Spider-Man loading where he they showed one where he was in a building and he shot through the pipe and he was out in the open world. And then they showed it for PS4. He went through the door, it loaded, and then he dropped onto a light post and he was outside. It was like, what? But so yeah, the difference between the last gen and this gen loading, that whole 35 seconds it took for the loading screen were new
It's
systems.
also, I think, like consoles taking advantage of being consoles. Like that's what they should have been doing, not what they did with the PS4 and the Xbox One, where they went PC style architecture.
Yeah.
Now they're finally going, okay, let's go SoC again and let's take advantage of memory.
Yeah.
So the 3060 came out this week, right? GTX.
Oh, it didn't come out. Like it came out, air quotes.
Yeah.
You can't get one.
Yeah. I put in my name on some watch lists for EVGA and for some other places.
Yeah,
so.
if you can get it, actually if you can get the TI version.
Yeah, TI might be the TI. The TI is 400. Just the regular base 360, I think, is 329.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for that one.
Yeah. If you get the regular, yeah, it'd be worth it because the money, if you can get it for the MSRP.
Yeah.
Or I mean, because if it goes when you pay that much for a graphics card and it's not, I mean, that's when I go, okay, I might as well just get a PS5.
Yeah.
Or something that's expensive like that.
Mm-hmm. But I've been doing a lot more. We have a PS5, but I was thinking, remember, of getting a Xbox or upgrading the graphics card.
Yeah, if you get the 3090, you want to spend that kind of money.
Although that's yeah. That's like $600, right? 5-6.
The 3090 is more.
It's even more.
Yeah.
Oof.
The 3090, I think, is $1,500.
It's how much?
$1,500.
Is it really?
Yeah. Now if you get the 3070, it's I think $700.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking then.
Yeah. The 3060 goes a little lower, obviously.
Yeah.
So you pay now in the.
Well, the 3060 is the 10. Yeah, 329, I guess.
It's the 60 series. So if you can get it, like it's more than the last gen's 60 series.
Yeah.
Last gen's like I have. It's like
yeah, because I'm running a 1060.
Range.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're paying $7 more. So, but they showed the FPS rates, and it's good, and it has a lot more memory.
Yeah. And it's 12 gigabyte card. It's got ray tracing.
Apparently, the bus is not very strong, so it has really strong memory, but won't be able to take advantage of that memory. Doesn't matter. Video memory is still video memory at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It adds up. So I still recommend going to higher memory.
All right, Theodious, you got a treat for us today?
No treat for me today. I've been so tired.
Anything interesting happened to you? Tell us the story.
Just pretend you're dad and you're telling your kids a joke.
You pretend I'm a dad? No, thank you.
All right.
That's scary.
We don't want to see any other Theodiuses in the world.
Oh,
keep that.
I don't think I can handle.
Keep that DNA to yourself.
I don't think I can handle me another. Like, do you think you can live with another you?
Yeah, you could. You'd be a good dad. I think.
I'm serious. Like, if there was another actual you, Larry, could you live with that? Could you live with Larry?
We'd be great roommates.
Huh?
We'd be great roommates. We'd be awesome.
I'd get in fights with myself. I mean, smothering myself in my sleep.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for listening or watching. This has been Scattercast, Scatterbrain Studios. This is your host, Dirt McGirt, with Gainer. Oh, no Gainer today. Poot, Nannies, and Theodious.
Hey.
You guys, hope you guys liked what you see. Subscribe, hit that like button if you do. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you follow it. And
leave your questions in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know what you guys want to hear. And you can always find us on our socials on Twitter at scatterbrain.st or just scatterbrainst. All right, everybody, thank you again, and have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Good night. I forgot
Good luck.